I loved being in college. It's just so much fun. You get to live on your own, you get to set up your own schedule, and you get to practice to be an adult without every mistake just ruining your life. But I've already been about 2 years out of college, and not a day goes by where I think, man, that would have been nice if I did this in college. There are certain things that you can start doing in college that can really help you set up the rest of your life for success. I didn't realize soon enough that I needed to work on those habits, so I wanted to make this video to share those habits with you so you can start working on them. So in this video, I will tell you what those habits are. I will show you examples of why they're so important for you to learn and how they will help out with the rest of your life and not just in college. And in the end, I will give you some resources and show you ways to start on those habits. So important habit number 1 is time management and organization. This is the first time where you are in charge of your time. You get to create your own schedule from scratch. You get to decide you want 4 classes or you want 5 classes or 7. What type of extracurriculars do you want to do? Do you want to join any student orgs? Do you want to work on the side? Do you want to do anything else, and when do you want to do this? But it's important to realize how to do it correctly, because if you take on too many classes, you'll start failing them and you will not be able to keep up with everything you want to do in life. Also, organizing them. Do you want classes in the morning? Do you want them more in the evening? Or do you want them during the day? How do you feel? Are you a morning person? Or would you rather spend your nights with friends or studying? What do you like? Those are all the questions you need to be asking yourself to figure out how to properly schedule your time. And the reason why it's so important to start on those habits in college, because after you get out of college, time managing does not stop. You will probably have a job, 9 to 5 or something like that, where you have a dedicated block of time. But what about the time after that? What about when you want to see friends, the weekends? The better you're able to organize your time, the more you'll be able to accomplish in your personal life as well as in your professional life. At work, you might need to be organizing projects and when to do them best, or any other things that people are not going to be telling you how to organize your day. You'll have to figure it out. So better learn how to do that early on. Next, you might not realize, but you need to learn how to study smart and not hard. You've probably heard this phrase already, but I do think that's a key when you're in college and when you're past college. At first, when I had the time in the beginning of every semester, I used to go at it. I used to take notes and color code and summarize and highlight and do everything. I wanted to be able to do everything till 100%. But one thing you don't realize, the more you want to do, you'll be able to find tasks to do specifically for that subject. Even if you're done with all the homeworks, you might just create tasks for yourself, like let me summarize, let me go ahead, let me do this, and have all the other classes just fall behind, and that's not good. And you might be thinking, well, it's just classes. It's just college time, but it's very important to learn it for the future because trainings don't stop at work. You might want to pick up another hobby or learn something on the side, and figuring out what is the minimum amount of work that you need to put in that you'll be able to pass the class or even excel at a class without having to push yourself to your limits and pass them is very important. So don't look over that skill. Next habit is very, very crucial, healthy habits. And by healthy habits, I mean both exercising and cooking well. This is the time when you have all the free time you might possibly have. If you don't learn how to exercise right and what will be your routines, if you don't set them up right now, it is so difficult to set them up whenever you have a 9 to 5 full-time job. One thing I was very much shocked by when I started working is how a lot of people just don't have the time to exercise. Most of your day is spent looking at the screen and just sitting at a desk, not doing anything, barely going on walks because you're slammed with work. But you get that good money, so you're able to go out and get good food, and it never stops. The ball just keeps on rolling, and the health deteriorates, and by the time you're 40 or 50, you're just wondering, where did all my health go? So while you have the time, go to the gym, start cooking for yourself as well. That is certainly a skill I miss, figuring out what are some quick and easy recipes I can make for me to last a whole week, let's say. That way I don't have to be cooking every night, unless you like to cook every night. Personally, I don't. But if I was able to know it before going to full-time work, I would not be struggling finding recipes every week and grocery shopping. I would already know how to do all that. So use your time in college to get that skill. Next, something I genuinely regret I did not do enough of is networking and getting internships. You might think once you get a bachelor's or a master's, you'll be able to get that really nice job and it will just keep on moving. You will be able to get promoted and get raises and life will be easy. No, unfortunately, it's not how it is. Life is very much not what you know, but who you know. When I was in college, I was doing my best to try to get to know professors and TAs and volunteer or shadow in a hospital because I was pre-med and that's what I thought I will want to do for the rest of my life. But now that I'm out of the medical world, I definitely regret not getting an opportunity to get internships during the summers in a different field to just see what I really like and what I want to do for the rest of my life. Because what if medicine doesn't work out? Or what if you start on it and then you'll find out you didn't like it? Or maybe you'll get one internship and you'll fall in love with something different you never thought of. So use that time when you have the free time during summers learning something new, but also networking. When I came into my role, I really did not know how to network. I don't know how to seek out people and how to get to know people and how to ask the right questions. It's all definitely a skill that you need to learn, and college is a perfect time because you have so many professors and you have so many other opportunities and any job fairs, anything you can find. Everybody wants to help college students. So use that time to learn this very valuable skill. Now, next one is a little personal. You definitely need to learn financial discipline. Right now, you might have money, you might not have money, you might have a job, but let's just have an example of me where I was studying full-time and my parents were able to help out with some expenses, but I also had a part-time job on the side. I was able to save up a little bit, but I know so many people, so many of my friends that would just spend all the money they had on partying and impressing girls and would get into debt just to impress people around them. Instead, what I did, I went on YouTube and I looked up these financial gurus and I was trying to learn as much as I can because I did not have a big paycheck coming in every week. Actually, it was about $200 to $400 every week. Actually, scratch that. I think it was $200 to $300 every week because it really wasn't that much, and that's all the money I could use for fun and or save. But if you don't develop the right financial habits, by getting a better job and getting more money, you will not know how to save them and where to put them, like retirement accounts, and maybe you want to invest them. And whenever you're in college, you don't have a lot of money, this is the perfect time to just test the waters and see what you like, what you feel. Maybe you'll invest money in the stocks and then you'll realize that you make terrible selection and you'll lose a lot of money. But it's better to do it with the little money you have right now than all of the money you make in your job. But also, if you did make the right selections, the best time to start investing is in your early 20s. The sooner the better because of the compounding effect. Perhaps right now in the next 10 years it won't give you much, but the more time will go on, the more it will just compound, and by I think 65 or retirement time, you might even save up millions just by starting earlier. At least that's number one tip I hear from all of those financial gurus. But don't listen to me, just do your own research. I'm definitely not a financial advisor. All I know is that you need to proactively learn about savings accounts, credit cards, about retirement plans, about how to invest your money, where you want to invest it, in stocks, real estate. Do your research if you want to one day be rich and be very comfortable with your life, instead of just spending all your money and never feeling secure in what you have. Alright, enough about that. Next habit I strongly recommend to everybody is self-care and well-being. Whenever you're in college, it's actually a perfect time to learn how to stress manage. You have a lot of exams and a lot of deadlines and a lot of personal issues with other people. So there's a lot of stress. I don't know if you've seen that study, I think, but I've heard that somewhere, that college students have the same immune system as a person in a war because of a terrible diet, no vitamins, no antioxidants, nothing, and a lot of stress, which kills their immune system even more. But guess what? Even when you graduate college, I've heard so many people say, I can't wait to graduate, I don't have to deal with these exams. But even when you graduate, the stress will not stop. You will have deadlines at work. You will have maybe a wife or husband or kids one day, or just family. There will be external pressures. Maybe you'll get a mortgage, maybe something else. There will always be stress. And what you need to do is learn how to manage it, or even better, how to strive in it. There are a lot of TED Talks talking how stress is a number one killer. But also, if you think about it differently, stress helps you. Stress prepares you to accept the challenge. It helps your adrenaline levels rise so you can perform to your best ability. The only difference is how you look at stress. But also, you're young. Probably. If you're watching this channel, I'm assuming you're pretty young in college, maybe 18 to 25, maybe a little bit older. And the easiest time to rewire your brain and to get the best mental habits is when you're young. The younger you are, the easier it is to change yourself into the person you really wish to be. Certain things you really wish you could change about yourself. Like, I know for me, it's the small talk and getting to know people, and this is why I'm doing this, so I can get to know you guys, and I would not be scared of opening up as much. But the younger you are, the easier it is to change those mental habits. There are actually books on literally rewiring your brain, so everything you do is a habit. Just learn about it right now when you're younger, because it will be so much easier for you to develop yourself into a perfect self. The last habit I feel like everybody should learn is how to correctly self-reflect and how to grow. So a thing like setting goals, but also not just irrational goals and not even knowing how to get to it, is how to set up a goal and break it down into manageable pieces. How do I take that step one? Oh, I'm noticing I'm procrastinating. How do I break that? But that takes self-reflection and a healthy self-criticism, or just healthy criticism in general. Learning that if people point out your mistakes, you don't have to take it personally. You can take it as an opportunity to be better. Trust me when I say this. No matter the age, there will always be people trying to point out what you're doing wrong. So it's best to learn right now how to not take that into account, how to protect yourself, and how to take it in a healthy manner, but also grow at the same time. All those habits that I've listed before, financial freedom or any physical health things you want to do, you can also have some setbacks. And you need to be able to look at it in a healthy, proactive manner of, what did I do wrong? Maybe it wasn't me, maybe I did everything right. But what happened and what can I change to make sure it works this time? Because everything I've mentioned is a habit, is a skill, and you can learn to be better as long as you don't take it personally and don't think that you're a failure for not having a certain skill. You can certainly learn anything you want to learn. Now the question might be, okay, well, you've told us everything you think we should know and you wish you had known. How do we get there? How do we learn? Well, first thing I would say, get the resources. There are a lot of free, or maybe you have to pay a little bit, but there are a lot of resources out there. My favorite is getting books. I've read books like about self-compassion and I loved it. And I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I read How to Rewire Your Brain for Happiness, and I'm currently reading Why We Sleep to improve my habits. That's one of them. I would certainly recommend all of the books I just mentioned. But also remember, there are a lot of free resources online, such as YouTube, the platform you're literally watching this on. There are so many financial help people, and there are so many people talking about the specific skill you want to learn, and it's free, and this is certainly something you can start with. And then once you start and you find the person you like, you can go on and get some books. But also a secret resource, I don't know if you have known, but your school can offer a lot of classes that you might be interested in. Two of my favorite classes, I took sports psychology, which talked about how to perform best and how to believe in yourself, and I genuinely thought it was life-changing. Next one, I decided to go even a little further, and I took a class about self-compassion, and it was pretty much like my weekly therapy session. And I read all the books by Christine Neff because she was my professor, and kid you not, I loved it. And then I also took a few classes for working out. UT Austin even offered golf. If I knew that, I would have taken it, but I had no idea at the time. So do your research what your university offers, like what classes and what skills you want to learn that are not part of your major, but you can certainly enjoy. One thing I want to make sure you remember, take it one step at a time. I literally mentioned, I think, 7 habits in this video. Don't be trying to tackle all of them all at once and be hard on yourself for not being perfect at all of them. Just take it one step at a time. That is the best way. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. So everything that is worthy of you having and you achieving will take its time. So just slow down and just lay out your bricks for your Rome, which will be your future self. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you got to know me a little more, and I would love to get to know you as well in the comments down below. Just write down any habits you wish to take on or anything you wish you knew sooner, and I would be responding to every single comment. So write them down in the section below. If you got any value of this video, please subscribe. I really enjoy making videos like these, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.